Today, let's talk about married men. When I started podcasting this year, I was like, I'm going to talk about married men because those people are a what do they call it? A nip? Is it a board in my nip or a nip in my board? Or they are so annoying. It is so annoying how married men are the ones like that always like want my attention. And from the year 2024 till 2025, at least close to 20 plus married men requested for my number and wanted to like hang out with me. I was just like, God, waiting the apple for a year, big. Did I wrong somebody? Did something happen? Why is it only married men that are approaching me? Like, why can't I get attention from my fellow single people and from people that are close to my like age range? Because honestly, yeah, see, I cannot date somebody. Let me not say I cannot, but I don't think I can date somebody that is 5 years or even 10 years older than me. Like, it blows my mind. I'm just like, what? That means when you were, XYZ, when you were 10 years old, they had just like given birth to me. Do you understand how that sounds? So, the highest I can date is 2 years. And somebody my age. I can date somebody my age. I can date somebody that is like 2 months older than me. That is fun for me because I know that we are like age mates and we can, we can understand each other, and there will be none of that, bossing around or I'm older than you. This is a military regime. I beg, I don't get time for all those rubbish. So when all of these married men were approaching me, I was just like, God, are you trying to test me? Are you trying to test my values, my morals? Because what the heck? And one thing I know for sure is that you will know he's a married man. Sometimes you will not know, but a lot of the times you will know he's a married man. By the way they carry themselves, by the way they look. Oh, sometimes I used to figure out by look. So one thing in Kaduna, yeah, how these guys always approach me is, so whenever I go to church on Sundays, because my house is not far from the church, I would stroll back home. It's part of like my, favorite things to do, to just stroll in the evening after church. And while I'm strolling back home, there's this particular street that I follow that is like popping, things are happening there. And that's how these married men would be moving around Banawa with their car looking for young girls to prey on. And that's not even it. Like the first time this thing happened to me, I was so shocked to my marrow because I could not understand what it was. I was very scared though. I was like, did something happen? So I was going to work one day. This is broad daylight. This is not even like, let's say morning going to afternoon, let's say 11 a.m. I was on top of the bike. And all of a sudden, this car at the back of the bike that I was on started honking, like, ping, ping, ping. Then the car came by the side of the bike I was on and, started waving like, oh, I want to talk to, the man was like talking from the window. Oh, I want to talk to you. Let me wait for you at the front. A total stranger, somebody I don't know. I was on top of bike. The man was honking at the back of the bike I was. I was thinking, maybe the bike man was, obstructing his road. There was something happening. I said, bike man, I beg, shift. Waiting to happen. Why is this one honking endlessly? And of course, it was to get our attention. When the bike man, moved to one side and continued moving, the guy now came beside us. I was like, he wanted to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And as naive as I was just like, okay, maybe this person needs something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they know me from somewhere. I shall just told the bike man to wait. When he waited, the guy came down from his car and came to me while I was in the bike and asked me where I was going to. I said I was going to place A. I said, oh, he thought I was going to somewhere that can I give him my number. I was just like, you piece of trash. I was so vexed, but I didn't even show how vexed I was. I just gave him my number. Immediately he called me. I blocked the number because what the heck? Do you know how that thing, especially in a situation where insecurity is like terrible, like in a country where insecurity is at an all-time high, you are honking at a lady on a bike, telling her to stop, all because you want to get her number. Like, That thing blew my mind. And that was not after that time, it happened again and again and again. And at some point, I just told the, I stopped stopping. I became scared. I was just like, Omo, just speed up. I am not, the bike man too will be like, oh, do you know the person? And maybe somebody you know. I'm like, it's not somebody I know. I know this man. I know where they are from. And I've also seen them do it to other girls too. One occasion, I saw the girl enter the car. I was just like, that is risky because you don't even know this person. And because they were honking at your back and they are requesting for your attention or your presence, they'll pay for the bike man and then you enter the car and zoom off with them. A lot of the times I just felt irritated. I just felt disgusted that there's no form of respect even. I say this thing of, oh, you were dressed a certain way. I was not dressed. Some of the times I dress in the worst way ever. I'm not the most fashionable person. I'll tie my scarf, wear my clothes. It's just like normal. There's nothing attention grabbing about how I am dressed. There's no cleavage showing. There is nothing showing. But still, I am stopped. So this is beyond dressing. This is about, a man who can understand respect. I felt like failed. I felt disrespected. The other time I was coming back from church and this guy took my number. And I'm always naive. You see, about all these things, I am always naive because it's like, oh, maybe it's just to talk, right? There is nothing more we would be doing. So I'm even embarrassed to share this particular one I'm about to share. This guy collected my number when I was coming back from church. He was funny. He was different from any other guy I'd ever met. Whether he looked married or not, he looked very married, but I didn't confirm, right? I didn't confirm whether he was married. So the next day he called me. I told him I had work. He said, let's hang out and just talk and chill. And because I was like, yo, I do not want to be blocking, social interactions because my life in Kaduna is all about work. So I was like, all right, let's just, give this a chance. And while talking to him, I'll then confirm whether he's married or not. We didn't even get to the talking stage. And so this guy invited me to a hotel. And in my very naive, amateur mind, I thought, oh, a hotel is not bad. The lounge of the hotel, maybe we'll just sit down there, order for drinks and just, hang out. When I got to the hotel, I was waiting in the lounge. I called him. I told him, oh, I'm already downstairs. I'm in the restaurant in the hotel. He said, okay, this is my room number. Come up to my room. I stuttered for a little bit. I was startled. I was like, excuse me, brother. What do you mean your room number? From where to where, I beg? Your room number? I thought we came here to chill. And then I was confused. I was like, because I for the longest time, I never trust my instincts. I know that things happen or things are bound or about to happen. My spirit tells me, but I'm like, it's nothing. It's this. I just need another person to confirm it for me. What I'm saying is, I trust people more than I trust what I perceive. But now I'm taking back that power. I'm trusting myself. Once I perceive anything, I agree with it. But the journalist in me and the kind of curious mind I have, I would always still want to seek for confirmation. I was like, this guy is telling me to come up to his room, maybe steal nothing. I mean, it's just hotel room, right? Hey, while my mind was telling me, SOS, run away from here. Run away from here. But I said, no, I want to I want to know why he's calling me to his hotel room. And in a moment of sheer providence, I called my mom and I narrated to my mom what happened. And my mom was like, in this moment right now, carry your bags and go back home. Not bags, as in I carried bags. Carry your bag, your handbag that you came there with, and go to work. Just leave that place. Then she sat me down and scolded me. She said, there is no man that would ever be serious. I and my mom has never had this kind of conversation. And I don't even bring it to her at all. Or I am people, we hardly have like relationship conversations. Whenever we have conversations about relationships, it's mostly about them. I rarely talk about like what happens in my romantic life or the lack thereof. In fact, I don't talk about my romantic life because there is no romantic life. So it was like 2024 that I started like experiencing some things. And yeah, that's why I'm naive. Anyways, my mom sat me down and then told me that no man that would ever be serious with you would tell you to to come up to his hotel room, that there is only one thing he's ever looking for, to sleep with you. And when she said that thing, I felt disgusted. I felt like filth again. I felt disrespected because what exactly did I do for this man to disrespect me in that way? He hasn't even had his way with me, but the motive behind his attention was really disrespectful and condescending. Is it that serious? Yes, it is serious. Especially for a woman that doesn't present herself like that. It is disrespectful for a man to see me and all he sees me as is a sexual object. All he just wants to do is to sleep with me and move. Those are my like little experiences with married men. I told you I have stories for days. I'm just going to share two more before I wrap this thing up. The next one I'm about to talk about is I was in the studio one day and this guy, I was the live producer for this particular show. And this guy, he looked very married. Oh my gosh. With his pot belly, he looked very married. Very married. So I was a live producer for the show. They finished like having their show and everything. He collected my number. I gave him my number. A lot of the times they would want to, start with over familiarity. So because I'm an Igbo girl, my name is Chinwendu. Chinwendu is my studio name. Chinwendu is what people know me as. I was like, oh, Igbo the one name, Afamobo XYZ. I'm not going to be calling his name. Avambo this in KBC, where are you from? All those familiar things because I'm an Igbo person and he's also Igbo. I gave him my number. Why did I give him my number? Now, I always say this thing, why I give people my number, both the ones I perceive to be married and the ones that I don't perceive to be married, but I don't even like anyways, or I'm not even attracted to, is because I do not have time to start explaining to you why I don't want to give you my number. Like, a lot of men can be really persistent to being annoying. So I do not want to be angry. I just know that there is always an easy way out. Either I give you my number, you call me. Once I know that's your number, I block you ASAP. I block you everywhere and you will not reach me anymore. If you reach out to me on Facebook, I block you anywhere. It's always easier I feel like it's always easier to block than to start explaining yourself. It's just so time wasting. But then at the same time, that is very dangerous. It is very dangerous because with your number, they have kind of like an access to you. And with your number, they can do whatever they want to do with you. Anyways, this realization came later. So I give people my number because I don't have strength to say no or to explain. And I don't want to look like I'm too serious. So I gave him my number for him to be going. And then he chatted me up. We started talking. And he said, oh, you're really beautiful. I want to take you out. I was like, yo, I am busy. I do not have time for people to take me out. I was like, just one hangout. Let's just sit and talk. And without missing words, my next reply to him was, are you married? In fact, my chat has cleared. God will punish WhatsApp for me. God will punish WhatsApp for me. If not, I would have read verbatim what this guy said. But I'll be paraphrasing. I asked him, are you married? He said he has been separated from his wife for the past 1 year, that they have been having issues in their marriage, blah, 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 that he's just looking for, something to just take his mind off of it. I just laughed. I was just like, wow. Interesting stuff. My next words were, okay, so separation means that you're still married to the woman. And therefore, I will not be hanging out with you. I will not be doing any, because it's not just hang out. Now I know better, right? This was happening like last year, 2025. It's not just the first part of the first stories I told you was happened in 2024. Now this one is happening in 2025. It's not just hang out. It's for something, either for us to date or for you to, have your way with me. So it's like, if you're separated, you're still married. Why don't you channel that energy into fixing your marriage? And I was like, oh, you will not understand, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I do not even want to understand. And guess what? I do not want to be involved in that mix. Do you know what it means to now be the rebound, or the woman that the man is using to hold body while he's sorting the issues in his marriage? Beats my mind every freaking time. The final story. So my friend knows this guy. They go to the same church and everything. And every time he sees me, I know that he is attracted to me. I know that he likes me. I have this thing where I don't believe that people like me until they say that they like me, because I've had a history of thinking that people like me and then finding out that they didn't. Or maybe they liked me and then they stopped liking me at some point. See, this relationship life is so reviving it in the name of Jesus. Amen. So the last one, I knew he was attracted to me, and I saw him as a church person, because the reason why my friend knows him is through church. I didn't perceive that this one was married. I didn't know that this one was married. So let's say we knew each other for a year, but we never spoke on phone or anything. Just like once in a while, when he's with my friend, we greet each other, blah. Last year, let's say November last year, he got my number from my friend and called me on a beautiful Saturday night after my shows on radio. I was about to sleep because I had an early one on Sunday. I answered, I was like, hello, who is this? He said, my name is. I was like, oh, you. Then he's there like talking everything that is in his mouth, professing love and everything. I was like, oh my God. Not again. Like at that point, I was not interested in anything. Both married, both single, all of you should get out. Let me focus on my Jesus. I was so disinterested. I just wanted him to be done, so I would just tell him, oh, can we do this later? Like, can we do this like some other time? And I think his airtime finished, so the call ended. I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. And every night or every evening, my phone winds down by itself, so it goes into like sleep mode. But it's not like do not disturb. With do not disturb, you can't even reach me. But with sleep mode, you can reach me after, I think on the second or third try. So he called the first time, it didn't go through. Second time, it went through. I was like, oh my gosh, this man is back again. I answered. And that's when he dropped the bombshell. He was like, I'm going to be honest with you because I want this thing to really work. Oh my gosh, thank you for doing me such a big favor by being honest with me. He said that he is married. Immediately he said that thing. I woke up. That sleep that was in my eye, that disinterest, that boredom I was feeling at the beginning, just like wiped away. I was seated in my bed. I stood up. I sat down. I was like, interesting. Tell me more, baby. Tell me more about that marriage thing that you just spoke about honesty. Tell me more about it. I just started laughing because God, you need to be you got to be a very humorous person, because what is happening? Like back to back, no break. Married people, interesting stuff. And guess the story this one had. He said, it's almost the same story as the other person. He said that, him and his wife, they're having problems, that he has done everything to solve the situation, that he has fallen out of love with the woman and he doesn't know what to do again. I was like, what about marriage counselors? He said, they have tried everything. They have even got to church, but nothing is happening. that the reason why he's reaching out to me is for me to, because he's looking for somebody to talk to. He's looking for, somebody that will pamper him, cuddle him, hold him when he's fit. Hey, Pakasirada. I say, my Jesus. Now I no longer felt disrespected. It was funny to me. I felt disrespected, but it was more funny to me that I felt disrespected, because what the heck? So it's me that you want to use as cuddling machine. It's me that you want to use for pamper. It is me that you are looking for who will cook for me. I'm looking for who will cook for me. Just, rub my head whenever. He was being very descriptive, and that thing scared, because that means he has sat down to think about this thing. Somebody to talk to me, and, this marriage thing has been hard. And he started saying things that would have moved me to emotionally, empathize with him. And I empathize because I've never been married before, but I know how, how stressful marriage can be. I know how you are how you can be in a relationship with somebody, and it just feels like that thing is not working, and you just want an easy way out, or you just want an out, or you just want to have your cake and eat it. How do they even say it? Or you just want something else because this other thing is not working. You just want to explore something else. I understand it. I've been there with my friends too. Sometimes my friends tire me. I'm just like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I love you, friends. I love you guys so much. But you feel that with your friends. You feel that with, things in your life. With work, you feel that. So I empathize with him, but I knew the motive behind that emotional manipulation. It was a manipulation. I knew the motive behind it. So he wants me to empathize with him so that I would be moved to do what he wants me to do for him. I was like, no, don't play those games. Don't play that card. Do not play that card, babes. Do not. I can see through it. I'm so grateful that by last year, whatever I perceive, I stick to. Because what I perceive in my gut should be trusted. Because 8 out of 10 is always true. So I could already see behind the whole facade of, I'm emotionally down and I just need somebody to, cuddle with me, or somebody I can speak to. I was just like, F off, brother. I just told him, see, if he's talking, my mission on this earth, what God has anointed me to do, is to mend broken hearts. Is to preach the gospel to the world. If you want to talk, people release their burdens on me. I am people's safe space, right? I create room for people to talk to me. So if you need that, come, brother. With the backing and strength of God, we can help you untangle what is happening in your marriage. But for me, thechinwendu, to come in as a side chick or a girlfriend, you're a liar. You joke with your life. Anytime you need to talk, anytime you feel like your heart is heavy and you need to feel light, call me. I can be that friend. But as your girlfriend, as your side chick, so you won't be getting benefits of a girlfriend from me while you're married. I do not care how discombobulated your marriage is, how confusion reigns in your marriage. It is none of my business. I am not going to be involved in that. It is not me that will do that. And that's how the call ended. And it is so funny to me. And it was, but before this call happened, remember I've already been talking to God about married men and stuff like that. God told me that today, in fact, he didn't tell me, he showed me the day you agree to date a married man, the day you agree to sleep with a married man, the day you agree to have anything romantic with a married man, just know that that's the day that your wahala will begin. That's the day that your life will start scattering. Because not only is that going to destroy your purpose and your destiny, it makes you a liar in the face of your purpose and destiny. Because my purpose, or what I know I came to this earth to do, is to make things right, is to transform lives, is to inspire people to live a peaceful life, a joyful life, a life without burden, a life that is uncomplicated, a life that thrives in values and morals. And the day you step out with a married man, you go against what you have been called to do. I really said, told before I never even wanted to, because how can you complicate your life with a married man and then still come out to lead people or talk to people about how to make their life uncomplicated? Well, does it make sense? It makes you a liar. And yesterday, I was listening to Pastor Dolapo Lawal. He was talking about breaking free from self-sabotage. I think everybody should go and listen to that message. It has part 1 and 2. Even if you're not a Christian, if you're having beef with God, if you haven't come to the place where, Christianity is your thing, or just listen to that message as you would listen to any podcast or, anything on the internet. Listen to that message. Breaking free from self-sabotage. He said something about if as a young lady and the only people that are meeting you are married men, know that a single man is around the corner. That you should not use because married men are approaching you ceaselessly. You will now think that, that is God's will for you. God forbid that is God's will for you. Or because it is much now, a lot of ladies are following married men, or it's only married men that are following you, that maybe there's a curse on you, or that's how your life is meant to be. That is a big lie from the pit of hell. He just validated what I knew God said to me, or what I knew God showed me. The day that you now decide to follow a married man, you have allowed the devil win. And then you don't even know what God was preparing for you. So it might be the popular thing. I don't know who this word is for. Yes, all the men that has ever collected your number in the past 6 months are only married men. Do not fall for it. Do not be the reason why another woman is in her house crying. Do not be the reason why you start wondering why your life is going a certain way. That thing is very spiritual. So just be careful. Once you perceive and you want to be sure, ask questions. Ask, are you married? And even if your spirit, even after asking them and they lie to you, and your spirit still disagrees, listen to your spirit and move. Move, run, flee. Do not oppose God's will for your life because of pleasure. Sometimes I've wondered, what if I just give one of them a chance? Because there's no other person that's coming my way. And romance is one thing I've always wanted to experience. I've never experienced romance in my life before. And I know one of these men can easily give it to me, right? While also taking something from me. It was like, no, Chinwendu, it's not worth it. You know how you feel. Just from the fact that, this man just collected your number and you know what they want from you. It made you feel like trash. It made you feel like you were being disrespected. It made you feel like a rag. Imagine entering into a relationship with them. That can distort your identity. That can distort the way you see yourself and the way God sees you. So do not even try. And if by mistake or by, a moment of vulnerability, you found yourself with a married man, God is graceful. God is not condemning you. He has already forgiven you. Jesus has forgiven you. It's time for you to forgive yourself and study the word of God, because therein lies everything he has done for you on the cross of Calvary. And I know for sure that one thing that is emboldening this married man is a single ladies like us. Because it's like, why do you want to be the oddball? The other ladies they have been meeting have given them what they want, have given their number, have given their bodies, have given their, presence. So why should you be different? They are being enabled by women like us too. So you can decide to be different. You can decide to not enable them. You can decide not to embolden them by saying no, by staring them. See, I said this year, I know they even give anybody my number again. Yes, I have the ability to block you, but I'll tell you promptly, no, I am not giving you my number. Do your worst. Yes, I'm too serious. Cheers to not enabling married men and putting them in their place. Go back to your wife. You man, go back to your wife.